bloc to destroy once and for all the British Empire and what it represents. It's the only chance for humanity now. Otherwise, you are headed inevitably now for a permanent dark age for a long period of time, maybe 2 or 3 generations. We now have 6.7 billion people estimated. We will go down to 2 or less in a fairly short, rapid, unless we do this. But what the American is upset about is the members of Congress who betrayed them. And look at the recent vote, the 2 recent vote on health care. First of all, Obama's intention is Hitler's. If you vote for Obama's health care policy, you're voting for Adolf Hitler's 1939 policy. It's exactly what you're voting for. If you support a candidate or a person in public office who's supporting Obama's policy, you are supporting a Hitler policy. Now, Hitler didn't invent it, the British did. But Hitler was a British puppet, created as a British puppet who went awry as far as they were concerned, and they had to get rid of him. But it was Hitler's policy, which are the policies of the royal families, World Wildlife Fund, Prince Philip. Prince Philip has a genocide policy. You don't need Hitler. Prince Philip is much more vicious than Hitler was. As soon as he was dead, Truman, the traitor, brought Keynes in. And the world system since that time was Keynesian, not U.S. That was the beginning of the return of the British Empire. And the problem, what happens is we absent ourselves by the way we allow crooked behavior in the Congress and and generally. We allow crooked behavior. We allow people in the Congress to go behind doors and devise laws which are cheating on what the public thought the intent of that law was. It's right now. What are legislators? Legislation is a form of lying. You don't know what you're getting. It's like getting a Christ snake in your bedroom, you know. So when we talk about a health care reform, why don't we just go back to Hilberton and end the HMO, which is a fraud from the onset? What's being proposed by the president is a fraud. It's mass murder of our citizens. There's no excuse for it. But we have legislative double talk all over the place. This is mass murder. What President Obama is proposing is nothing other than what Hitler enacted in 1939, in September, October 39. We called it genocide later, and practiced against the American people. And this creature, this Obama, wants to practice genocide against the American people. The same way Hitler did. And the same way that's being done in Britain by the sponsor of Obama, Tony Blair. This is what's happened to our law. The constitutional intent has been betrayed. We went back to supporting colonialism where Roosevelt had worked to wreck it. And we destroyed ourselves by culture, by cultural warfare. You had things like the Congress for Cultural Freedom in the United States, organized by pigs like John Train and people like him, who I came up against, one of my enemies. Yeah? These kinds of things, you had the idea of the same thing in the United States. And people talk about, I don't believe in conspiracy theories. What's that? That's outright moral degeneracy. You don't believe in conspiracy theories? What kind of a moral degenerate are you? No, because mankind operates on the basis of conspiracy. How else can you communicate? If you don't deliberate the question of what causes are and what results are, what the relationship between the two is, how can you govern? No. By saying this, the Congress for Cultural Freedom, or by the behaviorists, such as the authoritarian personality crowd, because that impels you to adopt a state of mind, a creative state of mind, which exemplifies what a human being is. And it's a concrete way of saying, I'm a human being. 50 years from now, 100 years from now, I'm a human being. And even after I'm dead, I'll be there because I was part of this process.